Hello. Today I'd like to add a fairly significant addition to my channel here, and after more than a year of having the same fish, I finally broke down and ended up with another addition in my tank. It was just one of those cases where I just felt that the tank was missing something, color and activity wise. And so here I have a single female Lyretail Anthias. Now, generally speaking, with the Anthias, you want to end up getting them in a group. They tend to do best that way. In my case, though, it just didn't quite work out that way, partially due to budget and financial concerns. So this female has been unbelievably hardy and very well adapted. Has gorgeous color, which is really interesting because a lot of times it ends up being the male that has the more brightly colors and things like that. And it's true, the males are more colorful than even the females, but even the females are just an attractive fish, and cheaper to buy, of course. So as you can see here, it's got the sort of pink and yellow. If you take a look at the eyes, it ends up with a sort of bluish color around the eyes, and depending on where they're at in the tank or your lighting, you can also get kind of a purple color effect around their eyes. If you look around underneath the eyes, you can also see some streaks there that show up, and you have a sort of reddish pink underneath the eye, as well as a sort of blue, light blue there, that comes out underneath the eyes. Now, Lyretail Anthias, much like all Anthias, are very active fish. They have a very high metabolism, so yes, that does mean that they need to feed frequently. They have very rapid metabolism, and so they need to feed frequently. So if you have any ideas about getting one, if you're the kind of person who feeds once a day or maybe every other day or something like that, forget it. An Anthias is not going to make it by on that long term. Which brings up the next thing. The Anthias is a very aggressive feeder. That isn't to say that it's necessarily going to, cause harm or really go after other fish. It just means that it gets so fixated on the food that it'll just charge in and grab all the food it can get. In point of fact, my Anthias here actually made my Coral Beauty mad yesterday because it was chasing a piece of food and ended up biting the Coral Beauty on the lip, and needless to say, the Coral Beauty pulled a Homer Simpson and chasing after him, screaming, why you little, you could almost hear it saying that as it was chasing the Anthias around. So anyways, he's also has taken some, or she, I keep referring to him as he, but it's she. She has also made a little bit of a pester of herself, going down into the Coral Beauty's cave network here, which of course the Coral Beauty doesn't care for, and will chase it out. But it's found other areas in the tank, like over in here. It'll like to rest in that area, and generally if it stays over there, it doesn't do too bad. It stays okay, and Coral Beauty doesn't bother it too much. The other fish have basically ignored it, which has been great. They just kind of like whatever, just do their own thing. The wrasses could care less. The foxface could care less. Pajama cardinals, pretty much, kind of whatever. He just hangs out. And all in all, just been a very beautiful and colorful addition to the tank. The Anthias Lyretails are listed as semi-aggressive. They can be very aggressive to each other. When they establish dominance and everything, they'll lock jaws with each other and struggle with each other around until they establish dominance there. But if you just have a single one by themselves, that isn't really an issue. So if you get one and you want to do groups, the best way to do it is to get a group of, say, like 5 females or something, and then what will happen is that the dominant one, the largest one generally, will end up mimicking male behavior, and it will actually become a male, and then you'll have a male basically with a female harem of fish, and they just kind of go around, and then when it's time to make fish, they do their thing. So Anthias do not pair. They're much like wrasses in that respect, with the dominant male and kind of a harem of females. So if you have any ideas about, long-term keeping a male and female pair, don't. It usually does not end well. So it's best if you keep the fish, either by themselves or in a group. But yeah, it's definitely not like clownfish where you get a pair or anything like that. So anyways, this fish has just been a bright and very active and colorful addition to the aquarium. Very hardy, believe it or not. This poor lady, she actually got her face stuck, I don't know how it happened, but got stuck to the net when I was trying to put her in. And this is the first fish I've ever done it with. I try and avoid it as much as possible. I actually had to hold her and peel the net off of her face. After about 5 minutes of this, she was sitting there breathing hard, and within 5 minutes she was literally like this, where she's just swimming around without a care in the world. So this is definitely a very hardy specimen. She's very durable, and I think she'll do great. So anyways, that's all I've got, and thanks for watching.